The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive model for a future driven by data and humans, aiming to balance exponential data growth with individual rights, transparency, and ethical data practices. Key components include foundational principles such as human agency, transparency, fairness, accountability, privacy, and stakeholder engagement. Structural components outline data governance frameworks, technological solutions, and human-centric practices necessary for effective HDI implementation. The framework also provides an implementation roadmap, ethical and practical considerations, training and education, and monitoring and adaptation. The HDI framework integrates three core principles: legibility, agency, and negotiability. Legibility involves making data processes and systems understandable to individuals, while agency empowers individuals to take action regarding their personal data. Negotiability recognizes the dynamic nature of data relationships, promoting flexible and context-sensitive approaches to data rights and permissions. The framework is crucial in today's data-driven world, addressing the need for new approaches to data governance and interaction. The HDI framework has far-reaching implications for researchers, practitioners, policymakers, and organizations navigating the complexities of ethical data management. It provides a practical framework for operationalizing data protection and privacy as fundamental human rights, contributing to the responsible development of AI and other data-driven technologies. By centering human values and agency, HDI offers a transformative approach to redefining our relationship with data and data-driven technologies. The framework emphasizes the need for a multi-disciplinary approach, combining insights from technology, law, ethics, and user experience design. Future directions for HDI research and implementation include the development of adaptive ethical frameworks, technological innovations, and strategies for global application. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive approach to addressing the complex challenges of data ethics, privacy, and user empowerment in the digital age. It defines core principles such as data legibility, agency, and negotiability, which are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. For instance, data legibility is a prerequisite for meaningful agency, as individuals can only make informed decisions about their data if they understand how it is being used. Similarly, negotiability supports both legibility and agency by allowing for adaptable and context-sensitive data relationships. Recent studies have expanded on these core principles. For example, Victorelli et al. 2020 propose additional dimensions to the HDI framework, including data quality, security, and ethical use. Their work underscores the evolving nature of HDI and its responsiveness to emerging challenges in the data-driven landscape. Furthermore, Salaja et al. 2019 have applied HDI principles to specific domains such as media experiences, demonstrating how these concepts can be operationalized in real-world contexts. The multifaceted nature of human data interaction necessitates an interdisciplinary approach, drawing insights from diverse fields such as computer science, ethics, law, and social sciences. This interdisciplinary perspective becomes particularly crucial when considering the complex and dynamic nature of the data lifecycle. As data moves through its various stages from collection and processing to storage, utilization, and eventual disposal, it intersects with a wide array of disciplines and stakeholders. The HDI framework seeks to address these socio-technical challenges by integrating perspectives from fields such as human-computer interaction, data science, ethics, and policy. By addressing these challenges, the framework aims to create data-driven experiences and systems that are aligned with user needs and values, ultimately fostering a more equitable and user-centric data-driven landscape. The data lifecycle is a critical component of the HDI framework, encapsulating the journey of data from its creation to its eventual disposal. This holistic view ensures that ethical considerations and human-centric practices are applied at every stage of data handling. The proposed framework advocates for a comprehensive understanding of the data lifecycle, encompassing the processes of collection, storage, processing, and utilization. By examining each stage of this lifecycle through the lens of human values, needs, and preferences, the framework aims to develop solutions that empower individuals and foster trust in data-driven decision-making. The HDI framework represents a transformative shift in data management, prioritizing user agency, transparency, and ethics to foster a more equitable and empowering data ecosystem. Human engagement is crucial throughout the data lifecycle to ensure ethical, equitable, and socially beneficial data practices. This involves empowering individuals with agency and choice in data collection, processing, and utilization, while fostering transparency and accountability in data-driven systems. Before implementing the HDI framework, organizations must carefully evaluate and prepare their existing structures, processes, and culture. This involves addressing preliminary considerations, including ethical, technical, and operational considerations, to improve data practices. Ethical considerations involve deliberating on the ethical implications of data practices, ensuring respect for user autonomy, privacy, and preventing harm. Technical considerations require assessing the capabilities and limitations of existing technological infrastructure, identifying areas for improvement, and ensuring that data practices are underpinned by robust, user-centric systems. This may involve enhancing data management and governance frameworks, implementing user-friendly data access and control interfaces, and deploying advanced analytics and visualization tools. Operational considerations encompass the processes and policies that govern data practices within the organization, including revisiting data governance frameworks to explicitly incorporate HDI principles. Stakeholder engagement is also crucial, involving users, regulatory bodies, and civil society organizations to ensure that the organization's efforts to implement HDI principles are responsive to the needs and concerns of those affected by its data practices. The alignment analysis phase involves a comprehensive assessment of the organization's existing data practices against the principles of HDI, identifying areas of alignment, gaps, and opportunities for improvement. This analysis serves as a foundational step in identifying areas for enhancement and informing the subsequent implementation of HDI-centric initiatives. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive, process-based model designed to address the complex challenges of data management and utilization. To implement the HDI principles, organizations must first conduct a thorough alignment analysis, reviewing current policies, procedures, and technical systems related to data management. This review should consider factors such as data collection methods, storage and processing practices, data sharing and disclosure protocols, and mechanisms for user control and transparency. A meticulous audit of existing data handling practices is a foundational step in initiating a HDI framework. This audit serves as a profound inquiry into the organization's data lifecycle management, from inception to obsolescence. The proposed HDI framework is structured around 9 key components, emphasizing its process-oriented nature. These components include foundational principles, structural components, ethical considerations, practical considerations, and an implementation roadmap. The HDI framework prioritizes ethical considerations, upholds fundamental human rights, and promotes the overall well-being of society. It emphasizes transparency, requiring clear explanations regarding data handling practices, algorithmic decision-making processes, and security protocols. Ensuring fairness and non-discrimination is a core tenet, demanding proactive efforts to identify and mitigate biases within datasets and algorithmic systems. The framework presents 8 foundational principles: agency, legibility, equity, accountability, adaptability, enhancing HDI culture, data lifecycle management, and monitoring and adaptation. These principles aim to foster a data ecosystem that respects human values and promotes societal well-being. The process-based nature of the HDI framework ensures that organizations can continually refine and improve their HDI practices in response to new challenges and opportunities in the ever-evolving data landscape. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a multidisciplinary approach that establishes ethical principles for data handling and use, emphasizing agency, legibility, equity, accountability, privacy, participation, negotiability, human centricity, and consent. Data governance is critical for ensuring alignment with ethical principles and regulatory requirements, involving clear policies for informed consent, data minimization, and security measures. Privacy and data protection are essential, safeguarding individuals' rights to control their personal information and ensuring secure handling. Participation and engagement advocate for stakeholder inclusion in data-driven system design and governance, emphasizing diverse perspectives and creating ethical data practices. Negotiability recognizes the dynamic nature of data context and meaning, requiring flexible approaches to data permissions and use. Human centricity prioritizes human needs, values, and experiences in data system design and operation, ensuring technological advancements serve human interests. The HDI framework's structural components provide a tangible architecture for embedding ethical principles into practical operations. Establishing regular audit processes, defining clear roles and responsibilities, and utilizing technological tools facilitate ethical data practices. Organizational culture plays a crucial role in prioritizing human values and well-being, involving staff training, user education, and stakeholder engagement. The HDI framework offers a comprehensive blueprint for navigating complex ethical challenges, fostering a culture of responsibility, accountability, and transparency. Implementation requires attention to both ethical and practical considerations, including respect for individual autonomy, equity and justice, transparency, and responsible innovation. Ensuring individual control over data requires robust mechanisms for informed consent and ongoing consent management, while transparency and accountability are essential for meaningful accountability and building trust relationships with stakeholders. Organizations must adopt a holistic approach to data management, integrating human data interaction, HDI, principles to protect ethical principles, individual rights, and promote social well-being. A thorough systems analysis is necessary to identify integration challenges, followed by a phased implementation plan. This plan should consider the development or adoption of novel technologies, such as privacy-preserving data management tools and dynamic consent platforms. A modular architecture is essential for scalability and adaptability, enabling rapid adaptation to evolving technologies, regulatory environments, and organizational needs. A well-versed and empowered workforce is also crucial, requiring comprehensive training programs that emphasize ethical considerations underlying data use, data privacy, and algorithmic decision-making. The implementation of a comprehensive HDI framework represents a paradigm shift in data management practices. A structured, yet flexible approach is necessary, commencing with a thorough, multidimensional audit of existing data practices. This audit should include data flow mapping, policy evaluation, technological infrastructure assessment, and stakeholder impact analysis. The HDI implementation process involves 3 phases: audit and strategic alignment, policy development and technological integration, and implementation and evaluation. The first phase involves a comprehensive audit, stakeholder engagement, and the development of a strategic roadmap. The second phase focuses on policy reformation, technological infrastructure enhancement, and organizational capacity building. The third phase involves the phased rollout and iterative refinement of HDI initiatives, ongoing evaluation, and continuous stakeholder engagement. Key components of HDI implementation include the integration of privacy-enhancing technologies, consent management platforms, explainable AI systems, and data provenance and auditing tools. Organizational capacity building is essential, through comprehensive training programs, change management initiatives, skills development, and cross-functional collaboration. Implementing human-centric data impact, HDI, principles in organizations necessitates a phased approach, commencing with the establishment of robust feedback mechanisms for stakeholders involved in pilot programs. Iterative refinement, leveraging insights from these programs, enables the improvement of policies, technologies, and processes prior to broader rollout. Continuous monitoring and adaptive governance are crucial, incorporating real-time monitoring systems, stakeholder feedback mechanisms, ethical review boards, and flexible governance structures that can evolve in response to emerging challenges and regulatory changes. Regular, comprehensive impact assessments are essential for understanding the effectiveness of HDI implementations and identifying areas for improvement. To remain effective in a rapidly evolving digital landscape, organizations must develop capabilities to anticipate and respond to emerging trends and challenges, including technology foresight, regulatory tracking, ethical foresight, collaborative innovation, and continuous learning and knowledge management. The HDI framework emphasizes the importance of training and education in fostering a culture that values ethical data use and adheres to HDI principles. Employee training programs should equip individuals with a deep understanding of HDI principles, including data ethics, responsible data handling, and awareness of biases. Stakeholder education is also crucial, aiming to empower users and affected communities by enhancing their understanding of data rights and the implications of data practices. Data lifecycle management is critical, ensuring that ethical considerations and human-centric practices are applied at every stage of data handling. The data collection phase must prioritize ethical practices and user empowerment, with transparent mechanisms for obtaining informed consent and privacy by design principles. Data processing should adhere to the principles of fairness, transparency, and accountability, implementing explainable AI techniques and conducting regular audits to identify and mitigate potential biases. Organizations must adopt a comprehensive approach to managing the data lifecycle, aligning with human data interaction (HDI) principles to foster a more ethical, transparent, and user-centric approach to data handling. This involves meticulous management of each stage of the data lifecycle, including storage, utilization, sharing, and disposal. Secure and responsible data storage is paramount, with robust security measures in place to protect data from unauthorized access or breaches. Data minimization principles should be applied, storing only essential information for the required duration. The implementation of HDI principles within an organization is an ongoing, dynamic process that requires constant vigilance and flexibility to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of regulations, technological advancements, and societal expectations. Continuous monitoring, regular reassessment, and agile adaptation of practices are essential to maintain and enhance the effectiveness of HDI practices. This involves establishing robust mechanisms for continuous assessment, feedback mechanisms, and adaptive governance. The evolving data landscape necessitates continuous monitoring, evaluation, and refinement of HDI frameworks. Organizations must be proactive in adapting their data practices to maintain public trust and comply with evolving regulations. This includes staying informed about emerging technologies, regulatory changes, and shifting societal expectations. Implementing HDI principles in the context of cross-border data flows requires a nuanced understanding of international data protection regulations and the ability to adapt data handling practices to meet diverse legal requirements. A multifaceted approach is needed to address the challenges of implementing a HDI framework, incorporating innovative solutions and a commitment to ethical principles. This includes adopting a modular and iterative approach to HDI integration, leveraging data integration tools, and implementing robust ethical review processes and bias detection methodologies. By adopting a dynamic approach to monitoring and adaptation, organizations can navigate the complexities of data systems, foster an HDI-centric organizational culture, and stay responsive to developing trends and context-specific challenges. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework presents a comprehensive model for a future driven by data, prioritizing human values, rights, and agency. Implementing HDI requires addressing technical, ethical, and organizational challenges through a strategic, phased integration approach, commitment to ethical principles, and fostering a culture of transparency and accountability. Organizations must establish clear ethical guidelines, allocate resources to HDI principles, and recognize employees who champion responsible data stewardship. The HDI framework represents a paradigm shift in data management, prioritizing human concerns over technological capabilities and organizational efficiency. By centering human needs and experiences, HDI offers a comprehensive model for navigating the ethical landscape of our data-driven future. Key takeaways from the HDI framework include the importance of ethical foundations, such as agency, legibility, equity, accountability, privacy, and stakeholder engagement. Implementing HDI requires a significant shift in organizational culture, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and ethical data stewardship. This cultural change involves not only training and education but also a fundamental realignment of organizational values and priorities. Leaders must model ethical behavior, incentivize ethical decision-making, and create an environment where employees feel empowered to raise ethical concerns. Future research directions include developing adaptive ethical frameworks, advanced privacy-enhancing technologies, explainable AI for HDI, and cross-cultural HDI implementation. These areas will be crucial for advancing our understanding and implementation of HDI, working towards a future where technological progress and human values are in harmony. The HDI framework serves as a bridge between technological innovation and ethical responsibility, challenging the notion that these aspects are inherently at odds. The paper emphasizes the significance of human-data interaction in data-driven societies, highlighting the need for transparency, fairness, and accountability in data handling processes. Data should be treated as a social good, rather than a commodity, and designers play a crucial role in creating systems that prioritize user needs and well-being. The concept of data justice is explored, ensuring that data is collected, processed, and used in ways that respect human rights and dignity, including issues such as privacy, consent, and data protection. The authors discuss the importance of ethical considerations in data-driven decision-making, recognizing that data is not an objective truth, but a tool that can inform decisions. They emphasize the need for robust frameworks to ensure responsible data governance, balancing individual rights with societal benefits, while addressing concerns around privacy, security, and fairness. The paper highlights the importance of transparency, accountability, and fairness in data management, emphasizing the need for a culture of trust and responsibility in reusing data to address critical public needs. Fairness cannot be automated and requires bridging the gap between EU non-discrimination law and AI. The concept of human-centered AI is explored, prioritizing human values and well-being, and emphasizing the importance of privacy as contextual integrity and dynamic consent. The authors address data governance and stewardship, highlighting the importance of extending the power of consent with user-managed access. They discuss the role of explainability in machine learning, the impact of privacy-enhancing technologies on work processes, and the need for staff awareness and effectiveness of educational training on IT security and privacy. The paper emphasizes the importance of responsible data management and the need for an ethical framework for a good AI society. The authors propose a novel approach to adaptive governance, aiming to create a stable, accountable, and responsive government. They draw on existing literature, citing Janssen and van der Voort's work on adaptive governance, to inform their methodology. The proposed approach involves a multi-stage process, outlined in Equation 1, which integrates feedback mechanisms and iterative refinement to ensure adaptability and responsiveness. The authors employ a probabilistic framework, leveraging Bayesian inference to model uncertainty and update governance strategies accordingly. Figure 1 illustrates the proposed approach, highlighting the interplay between governance stages and feedback loops. The authors argue that this approach enables adaptive governance, allowing for real-time adjustments in response to changing circumstances. The methodology is evaluated through a series of experiments, presented in Table 1, which demonstrate the effectiveness of the proposed approach in achieving stable, accountable, and responsive governance. The results show significant improvements in governance outcomes, as measured by metrics such as responsiveness and accountability. The authors discuss the implications of their findings, highlighting the potential for adaptive governance to address complex societal challenges. They also acknowledge limitations, including the need for further research on scalability and generalizability. Future work is proposed to address these limitations, including the development of more sophisticated feedback mechanisms and the integration of additional data sources. The authors conclude by emphasizing the importance of adaptive governance in creating responsive and accountable governments.